Here we go. What is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody's good. I get it, man. Fantasy football, we require the high-end value and productivity from these players. However, we require also these safety nets that we can just, plug and play each week and not even have to worry about them. So let's talk about the safe play. I got 4 players on my board that should provide every single week, almost on the high-end consistency rates, and they will be those gems for you. You don't even have to think about, and they're so good in their respect. But first, before we get started, sign up to Underdog Fantasy, man. Use promo code COVER1. The link is in the description. If you like best ball, pick'em challenges, sign up today. Don't forget to use that promo code COVER1. Must be 18 years plus, and terms do apply. But first one, let's get into this. Stefan Diggs is my guy on the board. Mr. Consistency, Mr. Reliable. We know the Buffalo Bills continuously now still going for that Super Bowl ring, and this is a year that they could absolutely dominate. I know everybody's sick and tired of hearing about the Bills, but Stefan Diggs has been carrying a lot of your fantasy football teams, so show some respect. Right now, Stefan Diggs, he is overall number 11 going just at the end of the first round of fantasy football drafts, man. He is entering that age 29, so he's got those last, 3 good, solid years of productivity, to give your fantasy football team. 2022, he was wide receiver 4, 2021, wide receiver 7, and in 2020, wide receiver 3, scoring you 266 points, 234, and then 265, respectively, on those 3 years. On those averages, he was absolutely a beast and a baller, giving you that 79.6 boom consistency rate over the past 3 years. What don't you like about Stefan Diggs? Do not sleep on this offense. I get it. Everyone's saying they added pieces. They got new weapons. The scheme is going to change just a little bit. And I see all y'all talking on the Twitter sphere saying, the Buffalo Bills, the running game isn't going to be anything besides Josh Allen. You just watch out, man, because James Cook is going to make a name for himself. New weapons like Dalton Kincaid. It will open up more balance for this Buffalo Bills offense on the regular. Yes, we could see some target share be pulled back from Stefan Diggs overall, but it's going to turn into higher end efficiency, where Diggs before gets a lot of bracket coverages. He may not see that a lot this year, especially if Gabe Davis can stay healthy and showcase that his game is on the ups for the next level of his progression. Stefan Diggs will likely see more one-on-one coverages, which is all good news for Stefan Diggs this season, man. 1,400 yards, 1,200 yards, 1,500 yards, respectively, year over year in this last 3 seasons. You're going to see this Buffalo Bills offense, again, be extremely dynamic. Josh Allen and these boys are all in this season. Stefan Diggs at the back end of the first round is one of the safest plays you're going to have this entire season. He will put it up, man. Flirting with that 80% consistency rate is somebody you got to get on your roster, and you won't even think about it because Diggs is going to provide what you require every single week. Next one I got is Derrick King Henry. Everyone's falling off the King Henry bandwagon. What are you guys doing? I still don't understand, but this is great news for value to return on investment. Right now, overall, King Henry is number 14, going in that beginning portion of the second round, 202-ish area. And this is a steal, man. I completely understand. Yes, Henry is getting older, getting to that dreaded 30 years of age for running backs. But he's already been paid. And this is kind of that last year, the last kick in the can. Clearly what the Tennessee Titans wanted. They got in D-Hop, and they brought Treylon Burks, is ready to take that next leap in his projection as well. The Titans clearly want to ride King Henry once again. He's going to be leaned upon absolutely once again this season, man. Adding D-Hop is only going to allow this defense to at least flirt with the opportunity to be pass happy-ish and then leave the no stack boxes for Derrick Henry, man. It's hard enough without a guy like DeAndre Hopkins on this offense, and now you got to guard a guy like Hop, you got Burks, and now you got King Henry to contend with. This offense will still be able to move the ball, and it will be all predicated with a Derrick Henry, man. 2022, he was the RB4 at 286.3. 2021, 184, but he only played in 8 games, mind you, so you got to understand, and was still almost over 1,000 yards that season. 2020, he played in all 16, and he had that 2,000-yard season. Just an absolute beast. 323.6 points. Yes, a fall-off definitely has to come eventually for King Henry, but this should not be the season. He is still extremely high-end for volume. Anywhere from the 250 to 350, you're going to see once again from Derrick Henry, and with added weapons, like I'm saying, King Henry's going to repay you on the big note, especially going at the top end of the second round. How can you go wrong with having a running back one who still got great high volume expectations? Do not think Spears or Haskins is going to take any bread out of this man's mouth. It is still King Henry's backfield. He was, over the past 3 years, 75% consistent on the boom games. You cannot go wrong with Derrick Henry. Why is everyone fading this man? You get Henry on your team, he is definitely a plug-and-play every single week, and you will not be disappointed. Henry will definitely repay you. He is a safe play this season, man. Next one I got, Naji Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers. Overall, Naji is at 26, hovering around the early round 3 mark right now. He has played in 2 seasons in his NFL career thus far. Last year was a little bit of an enigma for what this Pittsburgh Steelers offense was going to be, okay? But now the Steelers are starting to begin to come into their own just a little bit, getting a little bit of we understand what this offense could be. I'm lost for words. I'm missing a word there. They got an identity. That's what I'm looking for. They're starting to build that identity in this offense, and I think with Kenny Pickett, he's going to take another jump in his game. I get it. A lot of people aren't sold on Kenny Pickett overall being that franchise passer, but I think that he's good enough to at least support an offense that does have playmakers like Pickens, like Deontay Johnson, like Pat Freiermuth. Muth and Naji is going to be the catalyst that makes this engine continue to run. Last year, Naji wasn't fully healthy the entire season, dealing with that foot injury, somewhat of a Liz Frank, so he was not fully healthy. His stats did suffer overall. He wasn't the same guy as he was in his rookie season, and look what recency bias does to y'all. You completely writing off Naji Harris in most circles that I've seen already. This offense is ready definitely to make a step forward, and Naji will bounce back to primetime, being a primetime running back at a bargain value right now. This is beautiful news. 2022, he was the RB14, 203 points. Like I said, wasn't fully healthy. This offense dealing with a rookie quarterback. Lots of nuances, lots of growing pains, lots of things to iron out, and Naji definitely did get punished statistically for that, even though he did carry the rock 272 times. You got to know this is coming into his own, man. In his rookie season, 307 attempts, 1,200 yards, 74 receptions. This is why Naji finished as the running back 4 in his rookie season, 263.7 points. There's no question that Naji can't get back over that 250-point threshold this season. Also, being healthy, no negative news in this locker room on a Naji Harris right now, and you gotta love where he is going for you. Definitely could be return you, I want to say low-end RB1 numbers, but he's going to be an absolute gem RB2 for you this year, high-end RB2, if not a low-end RB1. How can you fade what Naji Harris is doing right now? 67.6 on the 3-year average boom consistency rate, or 2-year average for Naji. But I mean, 67, that's almost 70% for this man in an offense that was struggling. If they can even uplift themselves by 15% more productivity, Naji Harris is going to scream value and return on investment for your team. And for me, he's definitely a safe play this season. Last one I got is Amari Cooper, Cleveland Browns wide receiver. And Amari's had this up and down career, going with the Raiders, going with the Cowboys, now with the Browns. And the Browns seem to have things turned around just a little bit as well, man. Coming out, Cooper had his best season over the last 3 years back in 2022. He played extremely well. Still very reliable overall. Is he, this top-end wide receiver one we're looking for? Likely not, but he is still one of these guys that you won't have to think about very much this season, especially finishing last year as the wide receiver 9. You got Deshaun Watson and this Browns offense. They could be very dynamic, mind you, with Cooper, Chubb, Elijah Moore, other weapons like Njoku and others coming into the fold. This offense could be explosive, and a lot of people are sleeping on it. I am actually very excited for this Cleveland Browns offense. If Deshaun Watson can get back to Houston Texan days of play, then this Browns offense could be extremely dynamic. He will be the wide receiver 1, Amari Cooper, once again on this offense in terms of target share, and he's going to repay y'all handsomely. Like I said, 2022, he was the wide receiver 9, 208 points, man. 2021, he dipped, man. wide receiver 27, 168.5, and then in 2020, he was 190, finished as a wide receiver 16. But you got to understand where everything went from the Dallas Cowboys, the kind of divorce and separation that they did possess, and then coming to these Cleveland Browns and still being able to do it with a lesser quarterback until Deshaun Watson was able to come back. He was with Jacoby Brissett, who is okay as a quarterback, was able to support Cooper. So we'll see what Deshaun Watson can do. 58.3, the 3-year career average for his boom consistency rate. But the 2021 season did hurt his stock just a little bit. But I can absolutely guarantee you this season, after all is said and done, Amari Cooper is going to definitely go over that 60% threshold in boom consistency, and he's going to repay you as that wide receiver too. And you're going to love all the point productivity that he's got coming for you. But nevertheless, that is what we got for the safe play. I get it, high-end upside we're always looking for in fantasy football. But I do like to, sprinkle it around. You got to be a little bit more, adaptable and say, I want some safety on my fantasy team. I want to get those safe points. And these 4 guys this season will provide the elixir you require. I'm telling y'all. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What are y'all thinking of these 4? You in on them? You out on them? Do you think they're safe? Do you think that they're risky in some degree? Throw it in the comments, man. We'll definitely talk it out, but we'll see you next time. I am out.